Welcome to Behind the Badge with your special guest, Lieutenant Williams, your news source for all things police in the city of Fond du Lac.
KFIZ Today continues. It's Friday, and that means Behind the Badge, our weekly visit with Lieutenant Ryan Williams from the Fond du Lac Police Department. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Back again for some more action, and I brought another friend. It just seems to be like a lot easier for me if I just keep on bringing people, right?
It definitely is, yes. I was wondering if you'd have somebody, and we do. We've got one of your CSOs in studio with us.
So one of my CSOs and future hires, Alexis Jasak, is here. So Alexis, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Good morning, everybody. I've been a CSO at the Fond du Lac Police Department for 2 years now, so this is an exciting moment for myself and a few other CSOs. We go to the academy June 6th, so very exciting news.
We're trying to make her into a runner, so we had the physical readiness test. I think we talked about it with Maggie.
We did
a little bit, and so Alexis is not a normal runner, but she did pass by 2 minutes, right? 2 minutes, I think it was.
That's a minute and a half.
Minute and a half.
Hey, that's plenty of time to spare.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna keep working on it, right? Right, Alexis? Yeah. So, we're excited. It's such a huge advantage, especially for Alexis, because she's got those 2 years under her belt. You know, it's not like she just is coming in for a little bit. Like knows how to do her report writing systems already. Knows a lot about who every single officer is. She's kind of already part of the family. It just gets to be a more important part of our family now.
More official.
Right. So, what made you get into law enforcement? The decision to become a CSO 2 years ago.
Oh, that's kind of a long story. Some interaction that I had with a state patrolman when my dad had his motorcycle accident, and then my cousin, she's a Kenosha sheriff, and just learning about everything that she does, the experiences, just helping people, like what she does, it's just amazing. So actually, I'm getting 2 bachelors in criminal justice and psychology in 3 years instead of 4. So I busted my tuition.
Major overachiever here.
Yeah. We like our Marion college kids, you know.
Very awesome. Yes. And your time as a CSO, what's that been like?
Oh, I love it. I just enjoy interacting with the people. My favorite part of being a CSO was the community events, interacting with the public, and I feel like being a CSO for 2 years, like William said, knowing the PD family, knowing how to write reports, radio, those are all benefits that help you become an officer. So a lot of times with new officers that are hired, even if it's for a month or 2, they'll become a CSO so they can learn the basics.
Sure. And is that normal 2 years for a CSO, or do they usually only do 1 year?
Well,
Varies.
It does vary a lot. It depends on how early they get in as far as schooling. So a lot of our CSOs are going for the associate's degree, so they're like the 2-year degree, and typically I would say if I were just to guess an average, it's about a year. Okay. But Alexis obviously had some schooling to get done, the 4-year degree, so got in a little bit earlier, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it's great to have more years under. I know we just had someone about a year and a half ago that had 3 years, right?
Yeah, that was Mel.
Yeah, Officer Martinez had 3 years under her belt, and it's great. It's a great experience, but they do look forward. It's quite a pay increase once you become an officer. So for other reasons than that, there's other reasons,
Sure.
but it's also a little bit nice to be able to make a living.
2 years as a CSO and a double major at Marion University. So you sleep when?
I find the time. I got the weekends to catch up on it.
That's a busy schedule.
Yeah, but I cope with it.
She has a very flexible boss too, so that's
That is
good.
very true. And with being there for 2 years and my other job, schooling, I found a system that worked for me. Took some time, but it works.
Sure. No, that's great.
I mean, it's kind of cool because school is kind of like if we, especially in Alexis's case, that it's her job. Like she needs to do the schooling to become a police officer. So the school becomes her job, and obviously kind of comes before the CSO part. I mean, we love everything our CSOs do for us, but in order for her to be a police officer, she's got to finish school. So that kind of comes first. And CSOs, we love them when they're there. They're extra. They do a lot of extra stuff for us, which is great. But we can staff the road without them. So So we want that schooling first, and then we appreciate as much time as they can give us. So.
What's that education piece been like then? Yes, the double major and going to Marion.
It wasn't too stressful at first, like the first 2 years, because I'd be taking 18 credits a semester. I was also bowling full time, so Williams has been very flexible with my schedule in the past. And then this past year, I took 21 in the fall. I took a winter class, and I'm taking 21 right now. So I actually don't get my actual degrees per se, like the paper certificates, until December, because I get 6 credits from the academy. So it's been a lot of work. I have about 5 papers to do this semester.
Wow. Favorite class or two?
Probably my social psychology class. Ryan Dronick, he was a past law enforcement officer. It's great interacting with him, and he really gets you thinking about the psychology aspect. And then Kira Schallhorn, I had her in the past, I don't have her this semester, but she worked for DCI, and it was just really interesting hearing the story. She partook in the shootings years ago, even with Williams.
So she was one of the investigators on the March 20th incident and shooting and stuff like that. So actually Alexis did a really good job. She wrote a paper on kind of that incident, but more towards the officer wellness and kind of where we're going and what we've done since that incident on that, and talking about how officers can recover from traumatic events. It was a very well written paper. I would have gave her an A, and I think she did get an A.
I did.
Yeah.
Well done, well done. And you mentioned bowling?
I did, yep.
So tell us more.
I've been bowling since I was very little. I played softball as well, but I had knee surgery, so I decided to bowl in college for the first 2 years. And we won CCIW, so conference, 2 years in a row. And then this year I decided to tap out just because I had so much schooling to do. I was still supportive and everything because my sister actually bowls at Marion as well.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Average?
I haven't had average since high school just because it's more of team
Got it.
in college.
Okay.
But like 197 was
Wow.
senior year of high school.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think I was 170 back when I was in high school in a bowling league at Parkway Lanes. So yeah, you definitely crushing it.
I did a bowling league once in my life, and I'll say for one, it's the longest season I think of any. I think it starts in like September
Mhm.
and it goes till May or something like that.
It fills the gap of because there's
Yeah.
usually a lot of bowling people play softball, right?
Mhm.
So softball is May through August, and then yes,
Right into
bowling is that 9-month long. Yes, it goes forever.
Mhm.
My team loved me though. We were in a handicap league, and I was given a lot of pins, so I had to I only had to beat my handicap, and I was able to do that. I was really trying to develop my spin, my curve, or whatever you want to call it, and
Your hook.
yeah, my hook. There you go. And when things were starting to look bad, I would just bowl straight up, and I could beat my average, my handicap, so we could put us in a favorable position. So.
No, I was the same way. Yes, with that 170 average. A lot of the other guys were right around 200, so it was we keep Kaiser around. Maybe one because it was fun. They said,
Yeah.
I think
It
that
is
was.
a fun sport.
But two, it was you need those extra pins because those guys usually didn't have a handicap because they're over 200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was definitely well under. I might have had like 100 pins at one point when we started off, but I got better as the year went. The long.
At least you didn't give it up. You tried.
No, we had fun. We had a lot of fun. Yeah. So another thing we have is we have accreditation going on right now. So what accreditation is basically every 3 years we have auditors come to our department and they make sure that we are doing certain things the correct way. So like we're up to like state statutes, we're up to case law, and how they do that is there's actually in our police department and every department I guess accredited like 3 huge file cabinets, and they have all these different proofs in them. So like for example, like we need to show that in the past 3 years we have to pull a report where it shows that we properly put in our report that we secured our weapons before we went into jail. So like we have someone right now, it's Captain Tony Hahn, who will go through reports and find one that says that someone secured their weapon before they brought someone to jail. Now we do that pretty occasionally, pretty regularly, like every time it should be in our reports. But there's about, a million other ones that are some of them are a lot harder to find, and you have to find a proof of all these. And which will be last Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll have auditors, and we set up displays of like our range, we have SWAT team, our K9, our 10s, all of our different departments, the detective bureau, and these auditors will come and just kind of pull some of these and make sure that we're up to date on everything. It's a lot of work. It's literally 3 years of work, and it's all being tested. And to add on to that, our department's hugely into this reconstruction project, remodel project. So a lot of the accreditation stuff requires stuff be secure in a certain place and this and that. So it's been difficult on some of those things because like, hey, you need to have this secured in this room. Well, that room is destroyed right now, right? So yes, we've secured it in another room, but so it's been quite a obstacle this year, and it's just going to be nice when it's all said and done.
I can imagine for all involved, yes.
But the nice thing is, for like our city, if something happens to our department, we can show that we were accredited, which means we are up with the best standards in the nation as far as police tactics and stuff are, and that's important when you talk about everything. Like if there was some sort of litigation down the road or something like that, we can prove to them and say, hey, we're an accredited agency and we are using the best practices that are given to us from across the nation. So it's well worth it. Not my cup of tea. I am not a read over paperwork kind of guy, but we do have some other people that specialize in it, and they do a pretty good job in it.
Good for them, and yeah, best of luck with the accreditation.
I could see Alexis, down the road. She could be an accreditation manager. You're kind of a paperwork person.
Yeah, I like dealing with paperwork.
You do?
I do.
There you go. I think you just signed up for it next time.
She's one of our good report writers. So yeah, there you go.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, appreciate you guys stopping in.
Yeah, always fun.
Thank you
All
for
right.
having us.
Yeah, thanks, Alexis. Lieutenant Ryan Williams, Behind the Badge, KFIZ Today.